You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I literally just did a video an hour ago where the Wall Street Journal eviscerated the WNBA for the mishandling and the mistreatment of its most prized star, superstar, unlike they've ever had in the history of this league, Caitlin Clark. Look, they've had stars, if you want to call it that, but nothing has moved the needle, all right? Nothing jarred the ratings, nothing jarred merch sales, nothing jarred gate prices, shook the gate prices. We got to remember, in 2024, in the beginning of 2025, people were paying up, way up above ticket value, face ticket value to get into a Caitlin Clark game. Now, that has stopped, okay? But we know in large part that's because fans are pissed off about a great many things right now, all right? Whether it's the way that the coach for the Fever uses Caitlin Clark or the way the league treats her, people are just fed up all the way around. Bad officiating, you name it. I mean, there's a laundry list of things that are falling flat, that are failing. And I could not, I saw this and I was like, what the hell? But it doesn't surprise me. I said in a video maybe a couple of weeks ago at some point, I believed Cathy Engelbert was scared of the players in the WNBA. The other players. She's literally, I believe, physically and mentally, emotionally frightened of these players. Well, I mean, she's sitting back watching these players beat the shit out of other players on the court. I mean, she probably is worried about a physical confrontation. Oh my God, if I got to show up to an event, how am I going to be treated? A lot of these players have made it very obvious they can't stand Cathy Engelbert. You got to have a vote of no confidence in this commissioner now. It's over. It's got to be over. With this news, this particular news that Cathy Engelbert was not going to suspend Alyssa Thomas. Now, I crushed Cathy Engelbert. And maybe that's when I said she's afraid of these players because she only gave Alyssa Thomas one game, and I said she should have given her 10 games. She should have fined her $50,000 or $100,000 and sent a clear, line drawn in the sand message. We're not putting up with any more crap against Caitlin Clark. This is the message. Let the WNBA Players Union piss, moan, get mad. Oh my God, go on every left-wing media outlet and just be angry. Let them be angry. But send a clear message. She wasn't going to do it. Cathy Engelbert is a coward. She's a coward. And it's pretty clear here with this article from Sports Business Journal that Alyssa Thomas would not have got suspended if it was not for Adam Silver. Adam Silver has been a vocal advocate for Caitlin Clark on many different occasions. The first one that I can really remember is the fact that he was furious she didn't make the 2024 Olympic team. And he came right out and said, it seems like a massive miss for women's basketball. A massive drop. You fumbled it. You dropped the ball in growing women's basketball by not including the planet's biggest basketball player as a female on that team. He was vocal about that. WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert was not planning to suspend Alyssa Thomas for bearing a fist in Caitlin Clark's throat 3 weeks ago until NBA Commissioner Adam Silver implored her to reverse course and issue discipline, multiple sources told SBJ Tuesday. Wow. She was going to ignore it. She was going to ignore it By the way, this we're learning this coming off the fact that she dodged Dan Patrick's show while she was at the very golf tournament Dan Patrick was at, that his show was being held from. She just decided she wasn't going to come on the show after committing to it. She's failed to address anything publicly. I cannot believe she still got a job. Engelbert subsequently suspended Thomas for 1 game, ordered a flagrant 2 penalty that carried a $1,000 fine. While a WNBA spokesperson said Wednesday it was, quote, absolutely false that Engelbert did not originally plan to suspend Thomas, sources believe the fact that Silver needed to persuade Engelbert is another sign she is likely in her final season as commissioner. Wow. The league insiders had previously told SBJ that Engelbert would probably be forced from her job sometime following this spring's collective bargaining negotiations. I may have done that video when that news broke. But after Engelbert oversaw the historic CBA deal in March, she appeared to earn a reprieve. Well, the thought process and what was said related back to probably be forced from her job. What was said was they were too far into starting negotiations to change commissioners while active negotiations for a new CBA was going on. But the thought process was, once the deal was done, she would likely be out the door at some point. That was the thought. As Tuesday night at NBA's Summer League News Conference, if the NBA or WNBA Board of Governors had if the NBA and our WNBA owners, Board of Governors is ridiculous, owners had addressed Engelbert's future, whether she would stay long-term, Silver praised the league's tremendous process under her leadership, lauded the CBA, and added, I think Cathy continues to do a strong job building that league. But he also closed by saying, we'll have ongoing discussions about what the future looks like. She's done. The fact that he came back and said, but we'll still have discussions about it. She's toast. She's got to be toast. And based on the past week, the U.S. House Republicans sending a letter to Engelbert threatening federal scrutiny over the bullying of Clark, it's conceivable Silver and the owners from both leagues will escalate the review of her status. Silver did not address his role in the Thomas suspension Tuesday, but sources familiar with the situation said Engelbert initially believed during the evaluation process because no foul was called on the court against Thomas. A follow-up suspension seemed too steep of a discipline. She's a joke. Meanwhile, same sources said Silver believed there was clear evidence of a flagrant foul, that he felt badly for Caitlin Clark and told Engelbert she had to act. Wow. A source close to Engelbert said league referee ops and basketball ops personnel commonly make recommendations after potential flagrant foul calls, and that's what happened with the Thomas decision. Other sources close to Engelbert have said she is in an unenviable position, trying not to show favoritism towards the uber-popular Clark, and while trying to appease players who believe they're being overshadowed by Clark. Get this. But critics league-wide, sources said, believe Cathy Engelbert has gone overboard not to prioritize the Fever star, and they pointed to the fact she has not attended a Fever game in Indianapolis since Clark arrived 3 seasons ago. Wow. I didn't even realize that. They get the league's biggest star in, and the commissioner has not showed her freaking face. Adam Silver's a better man than me, I guess, because she would be toast. And I think it would be better if Adam Silver steps in, and maybe he has. Maybe the WNBA players know Adam Silver suspended Alyssa Thomas. And you notice Alyssa Thomas was like, she basically didn't quarrel with the suspension. Well, how are you going to quarrel with it if Adam Silver's the one that laid it down? You don't have a leg to stand on against the NBA commissioner. You're fucked. That's a shut up and sit down and shut up moment. Right? You got no power there. Y'all can bully Cathy. You're not going to bully Adam. You know, he's dealing with guys making $55 million a year. You know, y'all are making $800,000, $900,000, $1.2 million. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Even as benign as I believe Adam Silver can be, I will give him credit. He pivoted to the NBA. This is something that needs to be done in the WNBA. 3 seasons ago, Adam Silver, before the start of the season, sent a clear message. We're not in the politics business anymore, and we won't be doing that. Anybody remember that? He made a clear public statement pivoting away from politics and the social causes. Well, that's the same kind of pivot publicly that needs to happen in the WNBA. Just come out, publicly say, we're not going to get involved in this bullshit. And what he was addressing was, we put Black Lives Matter on the court, and that fucked us. We shouldn't have done it. And guess what? They've stayed out of it, pretty much. They have pretty much stayed out of it as a league. Interesting. Cathy Engelbert was not going to do anything. Not going to do anything. She's clearly scared of the radical activist players in the league. Let's be real. She's scared of them. She's benign. She's a fatty tumor. Yeah, it's not cancerous. It's just kind of there. You know what you do with those? You cut them out. You remove them. Adam Silver, get her out. Fire her. I don't think she survives. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.